Hey everybody, welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. We got a show for you tonight. NYPD former Mr. Mike Dowd. He is the star of the documentary, The 7-5. All right.
True that.
We ready? We on right now?
We are on, my friend.
Mike, thank you for being here, buddy. Pleasure.
Thanks for having
Joey
me.
Canzano here, and Bill,
Thanks for
Johnny
having me.
Peasy over there,
Johnny,
Billy Pizzul over here,
thanks for having me, guys.
and a special guest over there we'll talk about afterwards. And thank you for being. We've seen, I've seen several, the documentary is incredible, but all your appearances on the podcasts are just, I mean, from Joe Rogan to Vlad to, who's the comedian, Johnny, that you were talking about earlier?
Coco.
No, the
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Coco
Amazing
Diaz.
stuff. So I guess we'll just let you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, which a lot of people do know.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Of course, I'm well known throughout the NYPD genre,
No.
anyway, and the criminal gangster genre. It's like a combo. It's a cross mix at my age. Okay, most guys start out on one side, in the end, they all get together at some point. If you'd be surprised.
That's a fact.
You'd be surprised how often it happens that a lot of the cops and gangsters become best of friends at the end of, basically towards the end of their twilight of their career. Not the end of my life, twilight of their careers.
Right.
But yeah, so you failed to mention was my Mike Wallace 60 Minutes and Barbara Walters. Okay, now that's real.
No, I
that's
mentioned
real stellar.
I mentioned
okay?
Mike
That's
Wallace.
stardom.
I mentioned Mike Wallace about an hour ago at the Newbridge
Yes, you
Cafe.
did.
By the
Yes.
way, we're all stuffed, me and Billy and Mike.
Oh my God, what
And,
a meal! What a meal!
You didn't know about the Mike Wallace, did you, Johnny?
No, I didn't.
Billy,
I
did you
didn't.
know?
I had no clue.
1993, right, Mike?
Mike
And I
Wallace.
just happened to stumble on it.
Thanksgiving Day.
What I did
They
not
released
know,
it.
I didn't know about Barbara Walters. Tell me about her, both of them, Mike. Interesting people.
Well, so I was in MCC New York awaiting sentencing. So at this point, it was okay to speak, even though it's never good to speak, by the way, just so you know. So I was awaiting sentencing for racketeering. I faced 10 to life. I had a plea agreement between a plea. What do they call it? A plea of, I don't know.
bargain?
No plea bargain. Plea agreement between 12 and 15 and a half. And so my lawyer thought at this point it might be nice if I had some positive press. Okay, so he asked Mike Wallace. Every major news organization and TV magazine organization had contacted us throughout this point. And in fact, you mentioned Scorsese. He actually, after the Mullen Commission hearings, he contacted my lawyer and said, "I'll give him $700,000 right now for his life rights." I mean,
Scorsese?
you think he would have fucking took it? I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean, 700 large, you're in the joint, you're gonna come out okay, right? 14 years later, I'll be a billionaire, right?
Who did Scorsese approach?
My lawyer.
And he didn't take
He
it?
didn't take it. Yeah.
Now, what did you...
He says that's only the first offer. Next week they blew up a building, and of course, they blew up the building at the World Trade Center.
Was
the
that
first one? The first one.
That was 93.
That was 93. Yeah. So
under-
this is
under
how,
Clinton.
how fast your 15 minutes of fame can disappear. But so grab it when you can.
I don't think
News
it dis- I
cycle.
don't think it
Just a
disappeared.
news cycle.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yes, that's all it is. Just
news
one news
cycle.
cycle into the next.
Should have grabbed it.
Anyway, so I come out and doing quite a bit of. Listen, I had a nice quiet life on my own, private, and then this guy calls up about doing a documentary, and I was perplexed about it because I didn't want to have to rehash my whole story and my whole like divulge my life again, because it was tough, you know. I mean, I just did a 14-year stint, you know, and I had settled in, I had found a nice relationship, and so things were going okay, you know. I was going to be okay, you know. And then they called me with this thing, and they said, "We're doing it with you, and this is the hook in the industry. We're going to do it with you or without you."
Who was the producer?
Well, Eli Holtzman and All Three Media were the producing organization, and so I was like their real like a crowning baby for them.
Was that 2004 when you got out?
No, it was I got out in 2004, but in 2012 they approached me about doing this. It was a very difficult approach because I really didn't want to do this. However, like I said, when the guy came to see me, he said, "We're going to do it with you, without you." So
No choice.
do you want to? Yeah. Do you want your spin at least involved in this?
Were there any could you have taken any legal actions
Your public information, they can do anything they want with the public record. You know, obviously they have to stay close to the public record. They can't further disparage you. I mean, they can't say you're a dick sucker, because unless they got proof, unless that one guy come, unless that one. No, my point is, they can't. Say,
I got you.
They can't say that you built bridges your whole life, right?
Yeah.
One little penis. Anyway, the point is that you can't. So that's why they buy your life rights, so they can say whatever they basically want, and of course. I'm going to make sure they put that in there that they can't say that. So,
could you tell basically I think a lot of people would like to know how it's, I mean, according to the documentary, it's 1982 you got on the force.
Right.
And you told some story on the documentary regarding what they told you at the academy. It kind of started from there when they told you what to do.
Well, so that story refers back to your integrity training, right? So every police officer in their academy training gets confronted with the integrity portion of their training, which was very minuscule, by the way. Although I hear they added layers after me, but it was a minuscule thing and session, and I think it might have been 2 or 3 days where the guy came in for like 2 hours each day or something, and so in the end of it, listen, the street is really your boss. And surviving the street. And so when Internal Affairs is saying, make sure you do something right, or make sure you cover your ass. Because if you cover...
That's the quote.
Make sure you cover your ass. Because if you could have your ass covered, no matter what you did, it's good. Right? So that was really the play back then. Today they have cameras. You better cover your ass for real today, because there's cameras out there today.
So Mike, tell the viewers, start from where... You started, you started going on the other side.
You want to know about the good part of me or the bad part of me?
Well, from the good, and then it went into the bad.
So listen, like every cop, I was very excited once I came out of the academy. At first, I was very nervous, and the honesty is very nervous, a little timid, not sure of my own worth.
Right.
Okay. How much can you really handle on your own? You went from a clammer in the bay, of Great South Bay, digging clams up. Now you're a policeman in uniform standing on the street corner in Queens or wherever it happened to be, and now you're the boss. So how does a young man, boyish, right? You're 20, 21, 22 years old. You got no real experience. You barely just started getting laid, and now you're on a corner trying to change people's lives or save their lives or save your own life. So it's a very a moment of awareness of who am I?
Who are you?
Who can I be? I mean, is this real? And how am I going to handle the confrontations that come my way? I'm not a skilled, trained boxer. Can I handle myself? Yes, but I'm not a MMA guy. I'm just a regular man. Boy man, really at this point. And
to boot, you got put in the 7-5.
No, that wasn't my first place.
Oh, it wasn't.
I was in Queens where I had this trepidation. Okay, but one of the things that people don't realize is I'm standing on the L on Roosevelt Avenue. If you've ever been on Roosevelt Avenue in Corona, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst area, it's dank. It's dark. You're under the L. It's noisy. There's pigeon shit. There's people sniffing glue. Back in the 80s, they're sniffing glue. The biggest cocaine hub in the world. Right there. You're in it. And everybody knows it except you. Of course, what I mean is you know where you are, but they know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You're the only guy that's on the outside on the movie that's taking place around you. It's incredible because the massive people movement, it's all about the drug trade and I tell you, it's all about the drug trade back in the 80s. That whole community was intertwined with the Colombian drug business between the Cubans, the Dominicans, and the Colombians. They had the whole business hub.
And that's nationwide, right, Mike?
That was the biggest place in America. Right there was Corona, Jackson. I said, why? Because you had back then it was the airports. The airplanes were delivering them, and in fact, Avianca and Eastern Airlines, they were the major distributors of cocaine.
Oh, really?
You land in one airport, you land in the other airport. They had both airports, and Corona, Jackson Heights was right in the middle of both.
I would have never believed that.
Why would they put a brand new guy, a rookie, just starting, in the worst possible situation?
Because the rookie don't know where the hell he is. You don't know where you are. You just know that you're there. And you don't know the magnitude of it till now I'm in my 60s and 50s and 40s and 30s that I knew it. But back then at 22 years old, it's perfect because I'm dumb. I don't know what's going on around me.
Who wasn't?
Your integrity.
Yeah, well, you better know they tested your integrity out right away. More importantly, They're testing out whether you're going to be with or without. In other words, with the boys or against the boys. And sure enough, very early on, I got tested there. I wouldn't say that they purposely tested me. We came across a scene where there was a drug sales. Back then, they had game rooms. If you're familiar with the game rooms, back then you played Pac-Man and all kinds of crazy
sure.
in game rooms. Well, game rooms were a hub for distribution.
Right.
And it would be a distribution generally on a smaller scale. They weren't moving bricks, although some may have, but they were moving mostly 8 balls, quarter ounces, and small 50. Back then there were tins of 50s. That's would be most of the activity coming out of those game rooms, because it's hand to hand. It's in and out. It's in and out. It's not like coming in with a fucking shovelful. So
Now this is still in Queens.
this
right
is
now.
Queens,
Okay.
yeah. So one of my first major, I say major, so there's a lot of different things that took place, but one of my first major awarenesses was that we hit a spot, there was drugs in the spot, and no one got arrested. Of course, I don't know what happened to the drugs. I don't know what happened to the perpetrators, but no one got arrested, and no drugs were vouchered.
So these were people that were older than you that were
They were veterans.
veterans.
They were veterans.
Right.
They were well-heeled veterans, too. I mean,
Right.
these guys had... They still had back then, if you remember anything about the city, we would transition from the bomber jackets, the leather bombers, to the vinyl friendly look jackets. So those guys, because they were predated, they kept to keep their bombers.
Right,
All right.
right.
So they still patrolled with their bombers, which is really like manly looking, and it's a little bit intimidating. Reminded the Jews of the SS. So that's why they got rid of
The brown coats.
Is that the real reason?
Yeah, that's the bombers.
Nope.
They got rid of the bombers
Because of that?
because the Jews.
Come
yeah.
on.
Serious. The
Wow.
leather bombers with the leather belts and
I
everything
would never have known that.
reminded the Jewish population of the Nazis.
Wow.
So that's why they got rid of them. They made us go to this soft looking vinyl shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that.
The only one who was allowed to keep their leather bombers was the Highway Patrol, and they had to justify why they kept them because they were on motorcycles. And we needed it to break the wind, and it was a case. It was a protection.
and
It
if
was
you
protection.
fell,
They fell.
Yeah.
There was many reasons they could justify keeping it. So whenever you saw a New York City highwayman patrolman, they were all 6'2" and above. At that time, you had to be 6'2" and above.
Wow.
Right? So yeah, today you're 5'3". It doesn't matter, right? But that was very intimidating. Put your hat on and your boots on. Now you're 6'5". Okay,
Right.
so these guys would pull you over and get out of a highway patrol car, and it's as big as the sky. You're like, yes, sir. And all you see is brass leather buttons on the jacket and the top of your boots.
But don't you think that's the way it's supposed to be when
Well,
the law pulls you over? You're supposed to be intimidated a
Well,
little bit?
you should be on your best behavior.
Absolutely.
Just so there's an advantage. Otherwise, and that's why it's changed today. That's why policing is so fucking difficult today.
So-
guy pulls the cop pulls a guy over today. The cop's got the problem, not the guy in the car.
Well,
really?
name
I
and
mean,
badge.
good guys don't look at it that way.
Right.
But a bad guy's like, what am I going to do with this cop? Like that's what they're saying to themselves.
Name and badge, first thing they say.
Yeah,
Name and badge.
and get your supervisor down here. Get my supervisor. I'll give you a supervisor.
What would you have
Back
done?
in my day,
That's
I'll
right.
show you where the supervisor is, motherfucker.
Man, that's
I'll show you, supervisor.
How long?
Hold on.
How long did you spend in Queens?
It was about a year, but probably the first 3 months on my own. See, yeah. So about a
When
year.
did the turn come? When you went to?
I went to 7.5 in
And that's when everything started.
in 1983. But I loved it. I was scared to death. Listen, I went from being scared to death in Queens to being comfortable, and now I get my transfer notice because you graduate, like now you're getting the graduation, like there's another graduation. You graduate the academy and you graduate NSU, and you get your assignment to whichever precinct you're going to, and the last place you want to hear is 7.5.
Wow.
You just don't want to hear 7 anything.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, 7.7, 7.9. You don't want to hear any of that. 7.8's okay, but it's a lot of driving.
Was the 7.5 already an established
Yes.
corrupt? Yeah.
No. Well, so let's be fair. There's no corrupt precincts, all right? There's corrupt individuals.
Right.
Okay? The 7.5 had already had a bunch of guys got locked up in the late 60s, early 70s. And it was related to, it was mostly not really job related. It was more like off-duty stuff. But they were famous.
Not the Serpico.
No. The Serpico thing was 9-0. No. So that was basically narcotics division.
Right.
So you had the NYPD is so big. It's like people don't understand. There's 40,000 police officers. Now, back then, it was only about 20. So, but it's a lot of people. So there's so many divisions and people. I wouldn't know 95% of the cops. So I could be actually robbing a cop if I'm shaking some. Okay? So
Did it ever happen to anybody?
Maybe. They tried to make me rob him twice that I know of. I'm like, I'm not robbing this guy. No way.
There
Something
was
smells.
a setup?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I've been set up a couple of times.
Imagine that.
Anyway, I'm like, nah, I'm not robbing this guy. Just doesn't feel right.
So what happened the first year in
So
7-5?
first year I was a good cop.
7-5.
Right? So that, like 83 to 84 into 85, and then 85. So there's little incidents along the way. It's always something it's always a building thing. Like it's never like I'm gonna go start looking for bricks and cash. You know, it's something happens in front of you, and you're like, damn, I could take this right now. So one thing was a murder happened in front of. No, the murder happens. I show up, kick the door in. Couldn't get the bodies blocking the fucking. You can't make. Listen, you can't make these stories up. You can't get into the place to even rescue the guy because his body's blocking the door. How do you get in? How do you get in? You gotta break the door down, go around the back. I don't know if there's a back. Someone's in the back ready to kill me. I don't know. So I'm pushing the door. Finally, I wedge my way in. I gotta use my foot to push the guy's head out of the way. Slide against the door. Get inside. With that, some guy jumps on top of him and starts giving him CPR. Like he comes out of the back. Oh my God! Oh my God! How'd you get in here? How'd you get in here? You already were in here, obviously. He starts giving CPR to the guy.
Was the guy already dead?
Dead. So I go. He goes, oh my God! I go, hey, easy. We got the ambulance coming for this. Get your hands out of there. So he's like, oh my God. He starts wiping his hands, the blood. The last thing you do when you're fucking saving your friend's life is wash your hands.
The last thing you...
Right.
You're not worried about your fucking hands. Your fucking friend is dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like, he starts washing his hands. I go, okay. Now I'm a rookie, basically. Right? I'm only there for 3, 4, 5 months tops. Maybe 3 months. There's cash over here. There's fucking drugs over here. I mean, piles of everything. And like, they don't care. They're not concerned about that. There's a dead guy here. They're concerned about that. When I say they, the guy who's who's trying to save his friend's life, he doesn't care that the police are there to see his drug business. Long story. I'll try to cut because it's incredible. Anyway, so I take a couple $100 bills, slip it in my pocket. No one's here but me, the dead guy, and his friend. He can't see. He's running around. Sergeant comes in later on. He vouches like $1,200, $1,500, and 3 pounds of marijuana, big fucking load, bunch of tray bags. Back then they sold tray bags. So, Sergeant comes up. He goes, "Is this all cash?" Oh, hold on, Sergeant. I go in my pocket. I take out like $600. He goes, "Is that it?" I says, "I didn't want it to get full of blood." Because there's blood all over. I didn't want the cash getting blood on it. Just cash could, but not this. So anyway, we pinch the guy eventually because the squad shows up, the detective squad. Mike Redmond, what a I don't know what's the proper term for a guy that's just a stalwart mother. You couldn't beat this guy with nothing. He was a hard-nosed detective. Like he's one of the guys you go, that's a movie, that motherfucker right there. He walks in and he goes, "Who did it?" I said, "Him." He goes, "Tell me why." I said, "Because he wiped the blood off his hands." He said, "Okay." Now the kid's not going to confess to this, so they take the DOA to the hospital, and they take the kid with him, and they go, "He said you did it." He says he's alive. The detective tells him he's alive. He came through.
Never thought of something like that. Only a cop would...
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it. He goes, "Yeah, the kid just said you did it. You shot him."
That's a veteran.
Yeah,
That's a
he
veteran.
fucking snaked this kid.
That's a veteran.
And the kid goes, "I told him to stay away from my girlfriend." Boom.
Boom.
Done. Wow.
So his little homie was banging homie's
Yeah, but
girlfriend. The homie was banging homie's girlfriend. I can't take this because homie was out slicking him. He shot his best friend in the head. Dead.
Wow. Well, you got to give kudos to the detective. Who's that guy?
Motherfucker, I solved it. I said he did it. I didn't fake him into So the detective used trickery. I just used wisdom.
No, but you got to give kudos to that. Yeah,
Listen, I told you
that
he's-
was
he's
insane.
some guy. He's
But
legend.
that's a pro.
He's legend.
Is he still around then?
I think he's passed in the last 5 years. He's legendary. He had 25 years on when I had.
Who would
2.
ever think of something like that?
But Joe, they do that all the time. Though,
He-
Joe.
Do they?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
The
Yeah,
guy
they do that all
solved
the
30,
time.
40 murders a year himself for 30 years. Okay, he knew what to do.
So
how
the
to
kid
do
that
it.
shot him had no idea he was really. He thought he was dead. I mean,
Yes.
he knew he was dead,
He
but he
thought
got
he-
convinced that he was
He was
alive.
alive. He was telling us.
That's
he was telling
nuts.
us.
That's insane.
Joey, they do that when they interrogate two people. Sometimes it's, you know what your buddy said.
I know,
He
no, I
said
know.
you-
Well, that-
and
the
then
other room,
they tell
yeah.
this one. Oh, you know what he said about you.
That's old news. I'm talking, but this is
Yeah,
a,
but
this
this
was
is a dead
it's
guy.
a dead guy.
The dead guy
This
came
is
up.
dead guy
he
came back to
from the
life.
dead,
He was
yeah.
resurrected.
Johnny, stop trying to be Beretta.
Yeah.
Okay, Ironside.
so yeah.
So go ahead, let him talk. I don't want to get Johnny. I don't want to get Johnny going because he won't shut up
No, he's doing good. He's doing good so far.
because you're here.
I don't know
All right,
why.
so that's the first episode you in Queen. In
No,
this
but this
seven-
show's not.
so
no,
what
this
that-
is
okay.
good.
So
Listen
what
to
Sorry.
that, what that does is break the egg, right? Because now I say to him later on, I meet him for cocktails after, because choir practice after work. I go out for a couple of cold ones, and the sergeant says to me, I said to the sergeant, and I told my partner Sal, I won't say his last. I told Sal, I said, I'm going to ask him. So I said, Sergeant, what if I kept that money? He goes, as long as I don't see it, it's yours.
Wow,
That's amazing, right there.
I went,
it happens every day, Johnny.
no, yeah, but that changed the whole thing.
No,
Right.
I know.
That changed everything
For you,
for me.
did you have a partner at the time?
Yeah, but eventually he went to highway. He went to highway,
Okay.
and he wasn't 6'2". But anyway, yeah, he started to loosen their standards.
You were nervous with you didn't feel confident with this guy. You didn't feel.
No,
safe?
he was a good guy.
Okay.
He was good. He was good, but
Okay.
I would feel bad because I'm sure he caught the wrath of my career later on.
Yeah.
Because he was
Just being a partner?
Just being an ex-partner of mine. Yeah.
So you're a cowboy. Started.
I fucked everything. Everybody's career that went through me had some shit happen.
That's
to
that's
them.
incredible.
Yeah.
So go on with the.
So now I get this awakening that anything I see before anybody else gets there is mine. My decision.
That's your mindset.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's mentally
Yeah.
just transitioned. So, I mean, and let's not be. I'm not going to overemphasize the fact that it doesn't happen often, but it came to my mind when I came across a scene. Should I or should I not? I'm the only one here. I'm not going to tell on myself, right? So this is what became the mindset after that set in, and then working and having a thankless position, and I mean there was a lot of things that build this up, but that was the first seed. In other words, boom.
Plant.
Yeah, now I know if I see an opportunity, if I can justify it or not, as long as I don't feel I'm jeopardizing myself or anybody else. I mean, dead people don't talk except for that one case. Except for that one case that we just experienced where Mike got to the confession. They generally don't talk. I mean, there could be messages from the dead. Or if the Long Island medium.
Yeah.
If
Teresa Caputo.
If Teresa shows up from the Long Island medium, there may be a confession here. But generally, you can walk away, with. I mean, so you race to murder scenes.
So that was your first plant, as far as
Yes.
planted, and then
Yes.
what's next?
So I end up with a couple $100 on a traffic stop, because because I was stuck. So what do you mean I'm stuck? I had to do police work. I didn't want to do the police work involved. The guy had no license plates. He had nothing. It was a Corvette. He was like 18 years old. He's from fucking Puerto Rico. He's got no license, nothing. He's got the title. Like me. He's got the title, That's all he's got. So, I got a stack of tickets, take the car. So I said, just, how about a lobster lunch? I go, how about a lobster lunch? Then the Wahlberg stole them.
That was in the
Stole
that
the
was in the
fucking-
documentary, The
Yes.
Lobster Lunch.
I said, how about a lobster lunch? And the kid instead of a ham sandwich, a lobster meat.
And he rolled off a few.
He rolled off a couple hundred, left it under the seat, and left.
Did you have your partner still with you at that time?
That was the same one that not the
No.
the one that ends up going to highway was there.
We're not to Kenny yet.
No, there's a few layers before Kenny.
Oh, tell us the next layer.
Well, the next
after
layer,
the traffic
next,
stop.
The next layer would get a little bit crazy because the dates and times are in question, and they may be in a legal battle with me right now. So I will be a little vague about that stuff because the reality is I don't know exactly, but I do know that, and I'll put this out there for your audience. It was after the priest incident.
The Catholic, the church scandal.
For me,
Oh,
the priest tried to have sex with me.
oh, I didn't know about this.
Yes.
That wasn't in a documentary, was it?
No, it's another story.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
No, well,
No?
it's- well,
Okay, you can't talk about
I
it.
just
You might be in a thing with them right
yes, I might be in a thing with them right now, but
So-
Another Catholic scandal?
yes,
Shocking.
all right? Yeah. So in other words, your character prior, your character after these attempted incidences can be measured.
I got you.
And but that being said, the truth to be told is, I never used drugs. I had never used yayo, perico, pink Peruvian.
Mm-hmm.
Never used it. And then after this thing that happened with me and the clergy, I was like, threw it to the wind. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, if you can go to get help and someone tries to take advantage of you,
So your faith went out the window.
I was fucking shot. And
How old were you in that incident?
24.
So you're
I'm a man,
and how,
young
yeah,
man.
but a young man. But how old was the priest?
60.
And he's trying to take advantage of a 20-something-year-old.
You know, yeah.
But the thing is, that's not that easy because a 20-something that's a cop could have taken some physical
Yeah,
action.
but you see how wise and how disarming.
Disarming, that's the word.
See how disarming.
That's the thing. And you said you went for help, and he ended up turning around doing that.
Can you
And
imagine
that, and that when you haven't, so when you put your faith in something like that, it can definitely jar you forever.
Yeah, I have to, and it's actually a confession right here. It hurt me. It hurt me a lot, and set me way back, and it made me reckless. I went from being carefully reckless to reckless abandonment.
That's got to
Yeah.
be horrible.
And it was an awakening. I never actually looked at it that way until I looked at it from afar. Like, where did this whole fucking mayhem come from?
You know what I think, honestly?
I refused to wear my bulletproof vest. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't wear a bulletproof.
Yeah.
You never will see me ever. If you ever find a picture anywhere with me with a bulletproof vest on, it came off right after that picture. I promise you. But
So you were reckless, and that's,
reckless.
and you had no regard for your own life.
right. I didn't care.
And-
I'd be the first one in a gun battle. I never fired my gun, but I'd be the first one in the door with no bulletproof vest on.
Really?
Like, it just totally changed me. And I was fucking doing yayo off the dashboard. I just didn't give a fuck. I was just done. Something just kicked.
Because of that incident.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because maybe it's a building of things, but certainly right around that time, I didn't do yayo before then,
Right.
and then I started partying every fucking day after that.
And now, was that the time you developed with Kenny? Okay, would you got involved with Kenny?
Not yet.
Okay.
But eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a partner.
Don't rush. Don't rush.
We got jammed up. They sent us to Coney Island. What a mistake that was. They sent us to Coney Island for the
That's
summer.
in the documentary.
They sent us to Coney Island for the summer. I had to make sure I had the right tanning oil on. I was on the boardwalk with the Dunkin' Donuts cups or something filled with fucking Budweiser. And that was my whole. I mean, you had the Polish guys and the Russian guys down there vying for your attention. This is a shot to them. You know, if you ever see a Polish guy or a Russian guy give you a shot of vodka, it's like this.
Yeah.
4 or 5 of them. You've had a half a bottle. Yeah. Then I almost ended up in a shooting.
At Coney Island?
Legless. I had to carry you back into the precinct, but I almost shot a guy.
Because of the shots. Throwing the shots down.
No, the guy tried to shoot the police.
Oh, okay. No, there was that guy on the. There was on the
I
documentary.
mean, it wasn't for an unknown reason. The guy came to the precinct with a gun to shoot a cop. My friend George Farley. George Farley, I didn't know. He happened to boot one of these old time guys. Young guy, but he's an old timer. Big old Irish guy, 6'4", 325 pounds, walking the beat. Some guy gave him a hard time, so he booted him in the ass. Like you want.
Yeah.
Like you want. Just boot me in the ass and get rid of me. Don't lock me up, right? So he boots the guy in the ass. The guy comes back to the precinct. I changed his shift at 2 a.m. At the change of shift at 2 a.m., George is coming in. We're all coming in to get changed to go home, you know. And the 2 o'clock shift is coming out, so it's like 70 cops there. And he comes to the station house and points a gun at George. I'm in the patrol car, like looking through my bleary eye. I couldn't see. I just threw up in a bag of Dunkin' Donut bags. Right? I see this guy. I see this guy point my gun right against the window of the car because the window was in the back seat. I put my gun against the window. I'm squeezing the trigger through the fucking window, and the guy throws the gun. It's a plastic toy gun. He came to the 6-0 precinct
With a plastic
with a
gun?
plastic toy gun.
So you got people that resurrect dead people, and people that
that shoot
you got
cops
a lot of dumb
with-
people in that
with
with
plastic
guns.
with plastic guns. So the gun shatters in the middle of the street, and here we are now. What do we do? Of course, the guy gets a beating, right? And who's the lead beater? Drunk Dowd, right?
Drunk Dowd.
Donkey, stupid, drunk prick.
Drunk Dowd.
Yeah, I gotta tune this guy up because he pointed a gun at one of my guys. Yeah, okay. Like someone else could do this. So now I got my hands all over him. So who's gonna make the arrest? Me.
Drunk Dowd.
Drunk Dowd. The lieutenant comes over and he looks at me and he looks at George, who's right next to me. He goes, "You taking this arrest out?" Because he sees I was a little, aggressive with the guy. I go, "Yeah, yes, I got this." And George goes, George just picks me up like this. I got this. George is just a monster. He goes, "I got this, Mikey. Go lay down." Okay. I went, okay. Okay. I'll go lay down.
And now all this stuff is before you went the other way. This is all early on.
Yeah.
Wow. The story. I mean, we're not even scratched the surface yet.
I'm
We'll be
skipping
here
the
till
whole-
midnight tonight,
No, we won't. I got another 40 minutes, maybe.
No, this is fascinating. But I want to get to the meat and potatoes with Kenny and that other couple of the guys, the Colombian guy. No, the Dominican.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Well, there's a movie about that. We could talk about that shit all day.
Well, I mean, some of the people didn't say. I've been sending that. Plus that. Shut up, you two.
Yeah,
See what I can
so
go
what
ahead.
happens is eventually, then the 7-7 breaks, okay? 7-7 precinct gets slammed. 13 guys get arrested. It's not looking good. So now whenever something happens, it's always like, who's next? Right? And the rumors start circulating. And, of course, bingo, 7-5's definitely next. And they're looking at a few guys in the 7-5, and everybody's looking at us, So my partner, was still in the 6-0 precinct, summer detail, my partner goes home. His neighbor and best friend is the integrity control officer of the 7-5
Oh
precinct.
my goodness.
That's his neighbor. He's a lieutenant. He's the integrity control officer. He said he goes home, and now we're both transferred for the 6-0 for the summer. So Jerry says to his neighbor, I think his name was Artie. I can't remember. Artie. He says, Irish guy. Says, "Artie, what do you think?" He goes, "If I was you, I'd leave." This is the integrity control officer of the precinct that you just got transferred out of just for the summer, and then you're going to come back to the 7-5 when this is over. He goes, "If I was you, I would leave." That's all I can tell you. We already had some warning signs given. He goes, "Okay." So you can't believe the story. He leaves. He goes to Key West, to Monroe County. It's the furthest you can get before you get to Cuba. He takes the job as a chef. He doesn't get it right away. He took a couple. He failed this because he couldn't pass the lie detector test. Don't forget, when you leave the NYPD, you've done so many bad things, no matter how good you are.
Right.
If you go to get another job, you got to pass the lie detector test. It's the only thing that they have a problem with. So he went and he got some Valium. And the first question they ask you is, are you on any unprescribed medications? So he had the medication prescribed. So he says, no. And then he was able, because he failed two. He already failed two tests. One he failed, the one he got medium. He says, this is different locations. He went to Hollandale. He went to all these different police departments. They said, you got to pass the lie detector. We'll take you if you can pass. So he went and got a prescription for this. And anyway, so he's going to hear this and fuck you. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. You didn't do nothing for me anyway, you fuck. So he ends up becoming a Monroe County sheriff. And he does that for about a year. And then he ends up getting called back at Suffolk PD, which is one of the highest paying PDs in the world. Down from the 7-5, right? This is the cop in uniform. He's working. I go, yeah. He goes, my father worked with your partner, Jerry.
Small world, man.
Yeah, you see how this world is? Imagine this. And he knows that Jerry fled there now to get away from the heat from the 7-5, because if he saw the 7-5 documentary, he knows why Jerry's in Cuba almost, for Christ's sake. I mean, the world is so small.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, wasn't there a scandal in the 7th? It was a 7th. There was a precinct before the 7-5. Wasn't there some
7-7. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The
That was
7-7
before the 7-5.
Yeah, the 7-7 broke. 13 guys got arrested.
Right, that's what I'm talking
And we're all
about.
looking around. Who's next?
Who's next? That's
and
right.
We're all thinking it's probably going to be the 7-5. And I'm like, okay. So that's why Jerry calls up his neighbor, the ICO. The ICO says, yeah, if I was you, I'd leave. So he left the department. Anyway, so I'm now. Watch this. Now, I come back from the summer detail. One of my partners got arrested, suspended. The other, when I say partners, guys that I work with on a daily basis, 6 of them are gone. So the squad had 13 or 14 guys in it. When he and I went, when I came back, we had one guy suspended, 5-6 guys left. Another guy quit. Another guy went to North Carolina. Another guy's in the farm. It's like 4 or 5 guys left out of this whole squad that they sort of broke up a little bit, and now they're all looking at me. How are you still around? How are you still here? You don't belong here. Now what am I? I'm working for the man, they think. Now no one wants to work with me. I'm the bad guy now.
Right.
Now you say to yourself, well, this is the police world. These men left because they were bad. And you're still here, so you must be good. No, that's not how the police world works. You're still here because you're bad. That's what they think. Bad meaning you're looking to turn other cops in.
You're the Serpico of the...
I'm the Serpico.
Right.
When you're dying to get to the Serpico.
Yes, I am. I love the movie with Pacino. Did you ever meet Serpico, by the way? I know you told a little story about him on, was it Rogan? On one of the podcasts. Anyway.
I gave him life again.
You did.
Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
This book was sitting there rotting on a shelf. I get arrested. I do the commission. This book sells. I come out of prison. They make an announcement. His book sells. I go on Twitter. I go on Joe Rogan. His book sells. I got nothing. His mother. And then I say, well, do an interview with me. He says, no, I'll never speak to this guy. He's a low-life piece of shit. Oh? I'm
Really?
keeping you afloat and I'm a low-life piece of shit? He says, that's the worst cop I've ever met in my life. A guy shot you in the face.
He said that about you.
Not me. A cop shot him in the face in the 90 precinct, okay? And on 2nd Street. I can take you to the house if you want to see it, where he got shot in his face. And one of my new buddies, his father was at the scene. And my friend's father got killed 2 blocks away from that same scene, sitting in his car on his way to work, right around over Serpico. There's a lot of shit that happened over Serpico that no one really knows about. But the fact is, the bastard talks shit about me.
Imagine that.
Could you,
And what was the reason for it? Just he had his own problems.
people ask him questions about me
Right.
that he has to have an opinion. He can't say, he's nothing compared to the guys I worked with. We're all, I mean, you're talking, so SOD, Special Operation Division, and people can look it up. It was during the NAP Commission, which you mentioned Serpico. Serpico was the NAP Commission.
Right.
He's famously known for the testimony before the NAP Commission. I'm known for my testimony before the Mullen Commission.
Mullen.
Okay. Now, when people say you testified, you're a rat. No, I testified about myself. I testified about what I did and how I did it.
Right.
And
That was one thing that they made mention of. They made a specific point that no matter what, you never said a word.
no,
about
I
anybody
told on
else.
myself.
Right.
And it was announced that I was going to do the testimony for the Mullen Commission, and I wanted that to be clear so that if there was any guys out there that were playing games, they would get their heads up. That's what I was hoping for, because I knew it was going to go like this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, after I testified, people don't know this, but after I testified at the Mullen Commission, the next day they locked up the whole 30th precinct. 36 guys at the 30th precinct got arrested.
Do they think that you had a hand in that?
Well, people see
Assume
that.
it. They assume.
I don't even know these. I never saw them, never met them, don't even know their names, you know. But because of my testimony, they were able to build a case based on my testimony against these people because I showed them how to catch me. You want to catch me? Yes. That's it. I'll teach you how to catch me. And I'm making an announcement of it so that everybody knows.
Right.
Watch what you're doing. Stop what you're doing.
But where did they come up with you could have been this, an informant? I mean, you were right out in the open on the Mullen Committee on the mission.
Yeah, but don't forget I'm off the job at that point. They
Got
were
it.
worried about me being an informant when I was still way before my arrest and all that other stuff going on.
Gotcha.
And one time I did, I keep everybody on it. One time I did call the police, called Internal Affairs on somebody. He was a guy that started a fight with me in the street when I was in Coney Island. I talk about Coney Island quite a bit. It's a very significant breaking point. A lot of things happened. By going to Coney Island, they removed me from the cauldron, which was the 7-5. But I got a chance to recollect my thoughts and see things happen. And more things happened in the 6-0 precinct that would frame the rest of my career, because I would be attacked by a cop, an off-duty cop, tried to get me fired. I ended up turning on him, tried to get him arrested. Turned out he was just arrested a week before this.
Interesting.
Turned out he was arrested a week before I reported him.
For what?
For being the muscle behind the drug organization in Harlem. You go figure. Like, I'm feeling bad calling up on this guy who tried to physically assault me, tried to have me lose my career, have my wife and kids go fucking hungry, but I'm having to feel bad about calling a guy who's now in the crack spot in Islip, New York, when he lives in Brooklyn, New York, and he's got his gold fucking starter kit around his neck, his brand new Mercedes-Benz, going up into the only crack spot in Islip, what everybody knows in Islip. It was above the laundromat, right by the train station. The laundromat just burnt down, by the way. It's a dry cleaner. Just burnt down about 3 years ago now. It's been in operation for 100 years, this place. It's the oldest building in Islip. But there was a crack house upstairs at one point, you know, because there's an apartment up top. Mm-hmm. And I'm out sick because they're messing with me. So I'm out sick trying to get them back. And I'm driving home from the beach with my wife, and I tell her, get a good look at this guy who comes out of his car. Get a good look. He's a black guy, big black guy. That's all I know. Right? So she turns around and looks. Okay, we go home. I call Internal Affairs eventually. I discuss it with my neighbor. My neighbor's 28 years on the job. Detective, her uncle. He goes, Mike, it's drugs. You got to turn them in. Okay. You sure? He goes, yeah, you got to. He says, anything else? Murder? Fine. Drugs, you got to turn them in. Okay. So they come to my house in an hour. They're at my house in an hour. Like, what's the urgency here? The guy comes in, fireballing against me. Like, what are you doing here? Where did you get this house? How much you pay for it? I go, am I under investigation here? I'm calling Internal Affairs on a guy selling crack cocaine in a fucking building in Long Island. He goes, guess who it was? The guy that was following me for 5 years.
You're kidding.
He was in my house. He got me now. So I go to this lieutenant. I said, what's this guy want? Does he want me? Because if he does, I'm not going to talk anymore. He goes, no. He tells, and I don't know who this guy is, but I can tell something's wrong with him. Someone's been following me for years. I don't know it's him because he keeps changing his look, and I'm too drunk to pay attention. I'm too busy banging and hanging to fucking pay attention. He's been following me for years, this goddamn guy. Now he's in my house. He's so excited. He's grilling me. I'm like, dude, I called you. So Lieutenant Marr tells Trimboli to go sit in the car. And then some girl told the guy that for me. Anyway, she goes, go sit in the car. Go sit in the car. So now he breaks out these books, lineup books. And he goes, can you pick them out? I'm a white guy, all right? He's a black guy. A lot of them look alike. It's hard to tell unless you live with them. It's hard to tell the difference. You don't know their face, their eyes. So I go, him. It was a 90% no, but 10% guess. Now here's a woman. Now I had a fight with him in the street, an argument with him in front of the sergeant. I see him getting out of the car. So I've seen him 3 separate times for an extended period of time. I go, I think it's him. Now my wife went like this in the car. He opens up the book. She goes, that's him right there. Now, you think I had a chance to get away with anything with this?
Incredible.
She saw him once for half a second, and she picked him out in the line.
Well, that's a female.
Yeah, boom. I couldn't pick him out from between you and me and him. Otherwise, the shade of I wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
She had him pinned out anyway.
And it was the guy.
So they said to me, I said to them, what the hell are you so hot on this guy for? And they tell me the story. He was just arrested for using his gun in a drug operation in Harlem. I so here's the next turning point. Ready for turning point? Turning point USA.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I said, so what do you got him ready for armed, assault or whatever, Manhattan, guns, drugs, money, cash, pussy. You got everything you want in this guy. We don't know if that charge is going to stick, so we want to have something just in case he wins his case. We want to have a backup plan just so we can fire him. Do you hear? Just so we can fire him. They're not worried about arresting him because this is a charge. He's investigating the drug narcotics conspiracy.
Why didn't they want him under arrest? Why they want to just concern about firing him?
Because that's all they want.
But why? Don't they want the arrest?
No, they want him out off the job.
Yeah, but he's a criminal. He committed crimes.
They don't care. That was the message.
Wow. Do you think it was a racial thing?
That may be.
Right.
But that eventually, well, because when Dinkins takes control, it becomes that. But
Right.
But that's a different layer. It wasn't at this time. What it was they wanted the scandal to go away. Get off the headlines, department dismissals, everybody wins.
Yeah.
He can go away, go get a new career, say he resigned. You just can't get another police career because they won't forward his information.
Isn't that preferable treatment? I mean,
no, what it is it's called killing the storm. Keep
Right. Another news cycle.
keep it down.
why didn't they do the same thing with
Yeah.
you? Just kill the
Why can't I get the treatment?
kill the storm.
Why did I get the fair treatment?
That should be the podcast.
Well, this
Kill
is
the
the turning
storm.
point, right? I'm saying to myself, all they want to do is fire this guy. I'm afraid to make $100,000 a month robbing drug dealers. All they want to do is fire us.
You think there was anything personal with you in internal affairs?
It may have at some point. They followed me for 5-6 years. They were getting a little frustrated.
Well, I mean, did you have any enemies on the internal affairs
think?
squad?
I tell you the truth,
Well,
Joe
seriously.
Tromboli was
I've
on-
seen him in the
he
documentary.
followed me. He followed me to Florida. He thought I was going to like Jersey or something.
No cop likes internal affairs in any
Internal
job.
Affairs doesn't like internal affairs.
Yeah, but Johnny,
Exactly,
unless a guy like himself, where he's seen somebody else get, special treatment, why didn't he get special treatment?
Well, that's what I
That's
was. I'm
that-
special. I thought I was special. I guess I'm not.
Well, I mean, special needs.
Special needs.
Got his knee pads.
No, that's fascinating stuff. But no, the internal affairs is there corruption in the internal affairs itself, within itself?
As it turns out, internal affairs buried dozens and dozens of cases.
Imagine that.
Against a group of cops. But this is eventually, not around this time, eventually, because they saw so many cases coming in their direction after the 7/7 broke, they didn't know what to do. So,
They fixated on you.
so not yet.
Yeah.
They let me go.
Ah.
Yeah, see, people don't understand. They let me go. They gave me a second breath. I went to rehab. I
Right.
did 2 years in rehab. I come back. I'm no longer in the 7-5. I'm out in the country. I'm out in Greenpoint. I'm just in a slow place, quiet, not creating a stir, doing my job 9 to 5. So they think. But the point was, they were letting it go. If he corrects himself, he's good. In the meantime, they had dozens of cases against other guys that they didn't want to make any arrests if they would eventually just go away. But when I end up getting arrested, dopey me, only I could get arrested, right?
Dopey Dowd.
Yeah, stupid, dopey Dowd. There you go. stupid guy that I am, I get arrested, and it blew the lid off of all the cover-ups that they did. They covered up groups of guys, like 10 or 15 or 20 guys that were involved. And specifically, Dinkins didn't want it to look like a racially based group, so when I got arrested, it was perfect. They put the right height, the right face on corruption in New York City. He's not a New York City boy. He's from Long Island. He comes to the city. He robs drugs. He sells drugs. He does yayo off the steering wheel. He does all this stuff, and now we got him. And now they put a little bow around me. They shipped me off to the federal system, federal prison, and corruption's cleared out of New York City Police Department.
So they thought.
They ended up after arresting me quietly. They did the 3-0, which was noisy.
Right.
They locked up the whole 30th precinct, and then everything sort of.
Calm down.
Yeah. But they did lock another 200 guys up.
After you?
Yeah.
Now, was that under Giuliani?
Yeah.
Okay, so your whole time on the force was under Dinkins?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got Giuliani's job.
Yeah, you were telling us earlier. Amazing. Dinkins, you think he had it in? Did he have a special vendetta against anybody particularly, including yourself on the force?
Well,
Certain
listen,
people?
Dinkins was out to lunch a lot, you know. It just was. He was out to lunch a lot. He wasn't mayoral in a way.
Right.
You know, he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He actually was a nice guy, Dinkins. But here's what this. Listen, I say things straight. I don't make stories up. It was get mine time. Okay, when Dinkins was in office, it was get mine time. Just like when Eric Adams stepped into office, all his friends robbed the city for hundreds of millions of dollars.
He was a former cop, right? Eric Adams? He was a
Prick. Yes.
Did you know?
Actually,
Yeah.
I call him a prick because he did a lot of division in the police department. He caused a lot of division within the police department.
Right.
He started the 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement organization, which was a splinter group from the PBA, which is everybody, no discrimination, white, black, Spanish, Asian, Korean, whatever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to start a black fraternal organization that competed in negotiating with the PBA for salaries. So it was like,
How come the media never covered anything like that?
it was minorly covered, you
Right.
know. And then he ended up being a divisive figure, not well liked at all by anybody.
They had a lot of hopes for him when he first got in. Being a former cop, they thought he was going to be a conservative leader, but it turned out everything but.
Well, until he needed Trump to pardon him.
Yeah. And he turned a little conservative, you know. You know?
Mike, if you could change anything right now that you went through, what would you change?
So I answer this in two ways. I would have done it bigger and worse and better, or did the right thing. I actually dream about doing the right thing. My dreams today, and I do still dream about being a police officer.
Right.
My dreams today of doing the right thing, and like the actual feeling of being a good cop, being an honest cop, something I never really. I mean, sure, I started out that way, but you get so easily. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm
Get caught up.
I'm just.
Yeah,
I don't want to say I'm weak in character because I'm raised right. My parents are good people. They raised me right. You know, they put me in Catholic church, and you know, they made me go to catechism, and you know, I learned the good moral fibers that keep people in the right direction. But something kept pulling me astray.
When you were younger, you had aspirations of being a hockey player.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And
We
that
all
was
had that, actually, growing up with Bobby Orr and Brad Park.
Brad Park
Brad
was
Park.
was my favorite.
Yeah.
And he ended up with the Bruins.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bobby Orr was everybody's.
Oh,
you know,
he was a god.
Couldn't stand him. He was so good.
He's still a god in the city, but fascinating story. And we haven't even scratched the surface with you. I know we don't have too much more time because you've get a plane tomorrow morning early. But give it touch us just a little bit about Kenny.
Yeah, well, so Kenny and I ended up together, and he didn't want to work with me at first because he had all the rumors that I was working for the man.
Right.
He didn't want to work with me. Eventually, I convinced him. Look, we keep getting put together in the car. You know, we're same ilk. You're Irish and dumb. I'm Irish and dumb. You know, we like to have a couple of cocktails. You know, we like to flex a little bit here and there, and we'll do good together. And we'll do. And I said, look, and if something comes along, we'll take the money.
when you weren't
Well, like it was one of those opportunities. That
He was
there.
apprehensive, wasn't he, in the
beginning? He was, but it wasn't hard to convince a guy that was cheap. Like
But
he was cheap cocksucker. So
but
when you
the-
tell a guy you can get you 10, 15 grand and in one score, you're listening.
But how
I
broke?
mean, they do that. You ever see the show? Ever see what's his name? Ben Affleck. The guy he walks into the room and says, "We gotta go somewhere today, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people." And the guy says, "Whose car are we taking?" You know.
Oh, that's the town.
And,
Yeah, it's in the town.
The
Yeah.
town.
Well, whatever it is, I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
it's the same thing how we rolled. Whose car are we taking? That's how it became. You know?
When you were in prison, Mike, did you find God? Did you become born again?
So I did have my spiritual awakenings in prison. In fact, if it wasn't for my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, I don't think I would have made it through prison. I prayed every day and every night, and I went to Bible study. I learned quite a bit about the Bible and about Jesus and about the walk and the path and how difficult it can be. And so I've made my bones with that. And every time I have a crisis in my life, there's only one there for me is the Lord. I mean, I'm not saying my parents aren't, but really the peace you get comes from being able to reach out to my Lord and Savior, and I do reach out to Him.
No.
It wasn't long ago I was reaching out to Him.
Now, how was it during all this here going on? What was it like with your family? Did they all stick by you? I mean,
So initially it was very, very difficult on my mother.
Yeah.
Because
Naturally.
she was ashamed for her husband. My father was a very proud firefighter. My brothers were cops and firemen. And when your name is on the front page of the newspaper,
Right.
Being the dirtiest, worst, on the son of a bitch in the world, your mother's like, I didn't raise this, So
That's heartbreaking.
yeah, and she couldn't come see me. And then finally she came to see me, and it was fucking disaster. She just wanted to take me home. It was just that was tough. And I didn't know this, and then you guys reminded me today that my mother prayed every
Every
day
single
and
day,
went to
yeah.
church every day when I was incarcerated. I walked to church every day, which I didn't know until like 3-4 years ago. And I'm home 20 years now.
Do you still follow the church right as of right now?
I'm at it, as you might imagine, what I just confessed earlier in your show here. I'm a little at odds with the Catholic Church, but I do actually find some peace in going to Catholic Mass. So it's part of I'm seeking more of it now. I think it takes a while. I had to go through some hearings and shit recently, so it takes a while to get that. Because I have to recognize that, just like myself, I was a dirty cop. Not every cop is dirty. In fact, most aren't. And I have to say the same thing for clergy. Most aren't. I mean, if there's 5 million or 2 million priests, and if 10,000 are bad, that's
Right.
still a small percentage. Just one is too many.
Do you think your faith, Mike, had you forgiving Kenny at the end for what he did?
Yeah.
Horrible,
yeah.
horrible story.
Yeah, I mean, I actually feel bad for him. And is that an Irish guilt thing? I don't know. I feel
No.
bad for him. Because he has to live knowing that he hurt a guy that would lay his life down for him, and he knows it.
Right.
Mike, now your story is
I actually had a conversation with him the other day, and which I don't speak to him often. I've spoken to him 3 times in the last 40 years. And as he hung up the phone, I heard him say, "I love you,"
Imagine
which
that.
is pretty.
Wow, huh?
Which is and that's how we used to talk to each other.
Yeah,
Right.
if anybody out there that's watching did not see this 7-5 documentary, right, Johnny? It's
amazing.
It's magnificent. It's like watching a Martin Scorsese film, which it should be a film.
Well, that's what I was just going to bring up. So, as we move forward in your life, what do you foresee? Would you like to see it? I would love. I mean, this is a TV series.
So I really rather have a TV series, but there's sanction for a movie. Listen, there's a lot of things going on. I just need Wahlberg to call his brother and say, "Let's get this thing done."
For those who don't know who out there, we have Mark and Donnie Wahlberg's brother right here on to my left, Arthur Wahlberg. First time I'm meeting him, friend of Johnny's, and
But there's more behind the scene because Mark tried to do this already. Okay, so I have to give Mark credit. Mark stepped up and asked to play Mike Dowd in 2015 in August. Now I didn't have this conversation. My producer did. So if I'm lying, tell my producer that I don't be lying. And Mark knows me because we have some common friends. In fact, he was with Scarpa a couple of months ago in Atlanta, and Scarpa mentioned it to me. He goes, "Yeah, tell Dowd I said hello." But anyway, my point is, I'm getting old. I need this movie done so I can get my final payday and go off into the into the sunset.
Yes,
but,
I hear that.
But I don't mind a TV series. And listen, and it's gonna be. It's just a matter of who and the quality and the money. Listen, money makes it all happen.
Exactly.
So If there's a guy out there with 100 million that wants to make 200, 300 million, come on, let's
What
do
about
it.
a book, Mike?
I never wrote a book, and the reason is I had written several different books with different guys I sat with, and everybody wants to get their money first before they go
Right.
forward.
The reason why I say this because me and Billy and I had a podcast in 20. We had a guy did 21 straight. Someone recently sat where you were about 3 or 4 months ago. Did 30 years. They both have books,
Right.
and they're trying to get a deal with a movie. But you got a head start with the story already. So I think a book might be if you. Anybody could write a book. I
Well,
don't-
you get the book. He needs a screenplay. He needs
yeah, but a book is the start.
Listen, I don't need anything. There's
No.
7 screenplays written.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
Seven?
There's 7 screenplays written by 7 different writers already. They've got millions invested in this, and I just need a producer to come along and say, "Let's do this."
Gotcha.
You know, get what? Because these big production companies, Sony, MGM, Netflix, they don't do anything. It's the little guy that puts the stuff together,
Right, and
on
then
it,
sells it to
and
them.
then they broker it back.
Right.
Well, that's what happened with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck with Good Will Hunting. That was their jump. That was
Yeah.
their jump.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got it made, but it was a fascinating, great movie.
There's a lot of stories in the cities, in this naked city, whatever you want to call it. But cop stories all make money.
Absolute and gangster
They do.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got
Which is-
both. You got both
Oh, we
elements.
got both.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
didn't
got
even
both
touch.
elements
I
and
didn't even
you-
touch on the wise guy stories that are in my
Exactly.
stories.
Well, you're coming back, I hope, Mike. During
Well,
this.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I
You're
don't
not-
know. The way you guys treat me around here, I can't breathe. That steak was so thick.
We
Shout
took
out-
him to the new bridge.
Shout out to Mark Mandrake here for Newbridge Cafe. He's a good friend of ours. He wasn't there tonight, was he?
No.
Anyways, so Mike, I can't tell you how happy I was. There's so much more to talk about,
Yeah.
though. But we
It's too
can't
much.
cover any.
That's why they do a TV series, okay?
Exactly.
Are we going to get you back when you get to the big?
If I get that big, I'll never talk to you
You know
guys
what?
ever again.
Mike,
How did I
you
know
gotta-
that was going to?
Are
I
you
think you
kidding
gotta
me?
go after. You gotta go after Taylor Sheridan
I
because
I have-
He'll do it right.
listen, I've been talking to him,
All right,
okay.
that's the way to go, man.
but not. I'm talking to his number one man, not Taylor. I haven't spoken to Taylor himself. I was on the phone with Tiller Russell, who did the documentary, The 7-5, and Taylor Sheridan are very, very close. Last week we had a conversation, and he was to speak to Taylor Sheridan last week. I call him up. He says, "I haven't gotten to him yet." I said, "What are you waiting for? My contract ends March 26th, and then they offer me another life rights re-up. Okay, I don't want to do it anymore. I want the thing made. They just keep holding me."
I think it's
Right.
going to get made.
Right.
I really do because the documentary is incredible. Incredible. It was one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
Well, you got to have cojones to beat the documentary. That's what guys are afraid of.
Yeah.
yeah,
The thing is, though, there's so many small independent filmmakers out there. I can't understand why
Oh, they all want it.
they do.
Oh yeah.
Then what? Who you just?
I'm stuck with the
money.
big guys. They keep putting the money up
But they're not making it. So why would you not go with
because
the?
I don't see anybody behind me coming out with the money. Don't sell me a dream. Pay me.
exactly.
Now, Johnny, someone like Steve who just did
You're
2
absolutely
movies.
right.
Couldn't he give him sort of a direction from
Steve
his
Sweeney.
from his experience in the movie and what he just done?
The main thing is somebody with money has to jump on board and say, "We're going to get
Will
this
this sell?
done,"
And
and that's it.
You
And that's the
definitely got
bottom
all,
line.
you've got all the right pieces in place.
Everything.
It's just
Definitely.
a matter of pulling the trigger.
I mean,
on
these
their
stories
part.
are
On their
unbelievable.
part.
Listen, this was budgeted for $80 million 3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
Now with AI, they might be able to cut it down to $50 million right now.
right.
But Ben Affleck is the one who's budgeted for $80 million. Okay. Now you don't compete against Ben Affleck in Hollywood, unless you're coming in with some really major money behind you.
Right.
Because he brings the money by signing his name to the documents.
Right.
Right.
And that's the difference. Now, if you and I, we all got together and said, "Let's do this," it's a fabulous story. They got a great screenplay. If we don't walk in with a Wahlberg or someone of that statute, it's not getting done.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely
Th-
right.
There's so many things you got to learn about how it works,
And-
which I'm learning, by the way,
The
slowly
story,
but surely.
the storyline in itself warrants that kind of a person to
Right.
play those parts. So it should draw them. I don't see what the whole.
Did you make money on the
I
documentary?
really don't.
I take the fifth on that.
Okay.
A little bit. A little
Not
bit.
enough.
Much. Well, you
Not
don't make
enough
much
for
of
that story.
You don't make much of a documentary.
No, but that
They're
story-
not allowed to pay, really.
Mike, I could tell you, I wish you the best of luck with this because I think it should be made. It's got to be told. It's fascinating.
Well, look at it this way. I think it's periodic. It's a period movie about the '80s. If you liked You want to know anything about the 80s? You watch the 7-5.
Absolutely.
You do it the right way. Do it the real characters. Get some real sex in there. Some really snorting some cocaine.
And you know the funny thing about it is that the 80s.
Go to the discos where I went to Studio 54. I met Mark, the big guy from the Jets.
Gastineau.
Gastineau. Yeah, I mean, him and O'Brien were in there hanging out. You know, Madonna in the other one, the Limelight. I mean, that was the era.
Yeah.
Everyone was
And
snorting
that's the
cocaine
big-
and banging strippers.
and
I mean,
that's-
that's what it was.
And that's you spent a lot of time at Studio 54?
Not a lot, but I was there
Yeah.
3 or 4 times. I couldn't afford it.
That's a
I
high-
could get a free entrance, but the drinks weren't free.
Of course.
I could get in with my badge for free.
Did you go out with the uniform at all ever?
No.
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 Yeah, on St. Patty's Day, like every drunk cop, you know.
Well, Mike, I know you got to run, and we could spend another 5 hours here, but I want to thank you on behalf of Johnny and Billy, and also Arthur's here, sat through the whole thing. Arthur
nice.
Wahlberg,
Yeah,
ladies
very
and
impressed.
gentlemen.
I'm very impressed. Thanks for stopping by, Artie.
I actually stayed awake.
Yes. I must be pretty good if you stay.
I was waiting to throw a few jokes out there for Johnny, but
Arthur, you could come on. You come on one night when we do a little podcast with you. Would you come on?
I told Johnny, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you very much.
definitely
Now
do
I know
that.
where you are.
Mike,
Every Monday we're here.
thank you so much.
Mike, thank you so
Thank you
much.
guys.
Appreciate you.
Great cast. You guys are good.
Thank you, buddy.
Artie, thanks for stopping. I really respect and appreciate. Billy,
Appreciate
good
you,
run
man.
there. Good
Thank
run.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Let's take it
All
home,
right,
Billy.
guys.
Take it home.
Well, thank you once again for joining us on
wait,
Straight Up
can
Talk
we shout,
Boston.
Can we shout out to something real quick?
Absolutely.
I'm working with the Blue Magazine in New Jersey. There's a boxing match this week, not the 28th. Golden Gloves Championship being hosted by the Blue Magazine, which is a police organization. They have the Moment of Silence, which deals with police suicide prevention. They're a great organization. They helped me. They brought me back to life in the police world in some respects. You know, I still have a hard time in New York. They still hate me, but anyway. But they do a really nice job. They reach out. They do a lot for the local community in Patterson, and they're hosting the Patterson Golden Gloves on the 28th finals, and there may be a couple of former heavyweight professionals from the 80s there.
Oh, boy.
Maybe in attendance.
Well, everyone here is a back to blue guy. I can tell you that much. When
Absolutely.
9/11 happened, Johnny put a fundraiser together and brought a check to the fire department.
6 weeks after 9/11, I put it together all myself. I raised $8,000. I drove to the fire station closest to 9/11. I handed them a check for $8,000, and they couldn't believe it. You know, because it was right after. I was probably the first one to do that, and also the Worcester fire. Remember the Worcester, the 6 firemen?
Yes.
I did a fundraiser 3 weeks after it, and I raised another. It was something like $10,000, and so.
How much did you keep?
Hey, his middle
I'll
name.
take the 5th.
Mike, that's Johnny Dowd. Take us home, Billy Boy.
All right, you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining us for Straight Up Talk Boston. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
YouTube.
We love you. We want you to keep on keeping on, people. God bless you.
Take it home.
We're
Bang.
outta here.
1, 2.